Excellency, the EU Ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency, Ghana's Ambassador to the EU, the Minister for Information, the National Security Coordinator, the Executive Secretary of the Accra Initiative, members of the Planning Committee, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to have this opportunity to be with you, and may I welcome all of you to this press briefing on the International Conference on the Accra Initiative under the theme, Accra Initiative towards a credible, preventive, and coordinated response to challenges facing its coastal and Sahelian states. Ladies and gentlemen, please indulge me to give a brief background to you on the Accra Initiative. The Accra Initiative started in September 2017. It was out of the desire of the heads of state of some West African countries as a mechanism to strengthen collaboration and also cooperation between their security and intelligence services through the exchange of operational information and intelligence. And its formation was necessitated at the time by the urgent need to address the deteriorating security situation in the Sahel region. The collapse of Libya in 2011, you may remember, triggered the southward movement of jihadist elements and arms to the Sahel region. And by 2014, the jihadist elements had in fact infiltrated the northern fringes of Burkina Faso. They further advanced southwest, culminating in the March 2016 attacks in Grand Bassam in Côte d'Ivoire. It became evident at that time that coastal West African states could easily be attacked by jihadists who were desperate to gain access to the sea and further perpetrate piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, the proceeds from which could be used to fund terrorism on land. And it was to avert the southwest expansion of terrorism from the Sahel to coastal West African states that His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in conjunction with his peers in the republics of Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin, and Burkina Faso, sought to design a collective response which led to the formation of the Accra Initiative. By 2018, it had become evident that the coastal states alone could not contain the threat without deeper collaboration with the neighbors in the Sahel, who were at the time reeling under jihadist attacks. Mali and Niger were therefore invited to join the initiative, and they did. Today, the Accra Initiative comprises 7 member states: Benin, Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Mali, Niger, and Togo. The Federal Republic of Nigeria has been admitted as an observer state and hopefully will soon be integrated as a full member state. The desire to incorporate Nigeria is to create a synergy between the G5 Sahel to the north, the multinational joint task force of the Lake Chad Basin, and the Accra Initiative. And this is for good reason, as it will then enhance a common understanding of the threat of terrorism, leading to the design of strategies that would be considered necessary to eradicate the menace. Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Secretariat of the Accra Initiative is headquartered in Accra here and operates with personnel from the intelligence services, defense, and security forces provided by all member states of the Accra Initiative. And as stated earlier, the cardinal objective of the initiative is to strengthen operational collaboration between member states so that we can prevent terrorists and extremists from taking refuge in a member state, so that we can dismantle terrorist networks and prevent the expansion of cells, so that we can prevent and combat radicalization and violent extremism, and so that we can fight against transnational organized crime. And if I may add, the initiative relies on 3 essential pillars to achieve its objectives. And these are information and intelligence sharing, number 1, capacity building, number 2, and thirdly, the conduct of joint multinational operations. Members of the press may want to know that the international conference is planned to be held on 3 different levels. There will be the technical conference involving non-state actors. There will be a ministerial session involving the ministers of security, defense, and foreign affairs, and the summit of heads of state and government of member states. The non-state actors conference took place from the 17th to the 18th November 2022 at the Accra International Conference Centre. It was organized to draw the attention of the international community to the exacerbating security challenges confronting member countries of the initiative, so as to tell the story of the Accra Initiative as a response mechanism to the growing security challenges, and also share lessons learned from previous interventions in the fight against terrorism and violent extremism in the sub-region. And in the course of the 2-day conference, over 200 participants, including representatives from international governmental and non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, academia, think tanks, security actors, diplomatic corps, and other multinational initiatives, held panel and group discussions on several probing topics. And at the end of the exceptionally successful technical conference, I'm pleased to report that far-reaching recommendations were proffered by participants to strengthen this fight against terrorism, violent extremism, and transnational organized crime in a holistic, integrated, and comprehensive approach. The recommendations, you may want to know, included areas of governance, security cooperation, and regional solidarity. It also included tackling radicalization, combating the financing of terrorism and extremism, embedding human rights, traditional agricultural practices, and also technology as a tool for change in the fight against terrorism. And ladies and gentlemen, the second level of the international conference is the ministerial session, which is scheduled for 21st November 2022 and will also be held at the Accra International Conference Centre. This ministerial conference would bring together ministers of security, defense, and foreign affairs of member states of the Accra Initiative, as well as ministers of foreign affairs and ambassadors of European Union member states resident in Ghana and other foreign partners. There will also be other high-level dignitaries, and this will include representatives of ECOWAS, the African Union, and the United Nations. Lastly, there will be the Summit of Heads of State and Government. This is scheduled for 22nd November 2022, and it will be at the Kempinski Hotel in Accra. The presidents of the member states of the Accra Initiative, as well as the president of the European Council, shall attend the meeting to deliberate major security issues and the way forward in addressing our common challenges. Let me also state that all heads of missions in Ghana have been invited for the opening sessions for the ministerial and also for the heads of state conferences scheduled for 21st and 22nd November, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, let me please take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the European Union for the technical and also the financial support to the Accra Initiative towards this conference, which is expected to bring quite a number of people with relevant global knowledge and interest in counter-terrorism and transnational organized crime to participate in the various events. This, I believe and trust, demonstrates the growing international interest in the Accra Initiative and its relevant role in the fight for global peace and security. And while welcoming the interest expressed in our activities and desire for partnership, we shall closely follow our guiding principles and retain the initiative as a homegrown mechanism to address the prevailing security threats. And on this note, Your Excellencies, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you, particularly members of the press, to cover the opening ceremonies of the ministerial session and also the summit of heads of state and government. And I thank you.